Good morning. Welcome to the Salt Lake Center for Spiritual Living. Happy spring? Question mark, question mark. Happy Pajama Day. So excited you're here. And those who didn't dare drive in this stuff and are sitting at home on your comfy couch in your pajamas, welcome to you. We're so happy you joined us today. We're going to start right off by singing our opening song. Please join us. Be exuberant. Okay.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. Thank you for the music, and thank you for the music last Sunday. If any of you didn't have a chance to go, our beloved band was at the Interfaith service downtown and performed live, and it is on our Facebook site that you're able to see. I got excited about that announcement that I skipped forward a little bit, but yes, definitely thank you. They look fabulous, and they're fabulous today also. I am Steve Matthews, and I'm happy to be your host today. Welcome from wherever you are watching, and whatever you are wearing. Thank you for joining us. If you're here in person or online, we know that you're going to have a great experience today and welcome you. Our center is a spiritual community where all are welcome. Our center teaches a philosophy for daily living based on spiritual principles and practices that are universal among all religions. We honor all pathways by which people seek to know and connect with the divine, and we work on our individual consciousness to make the world a better place as we manifest a world that works for everyone. I invite you to join us in stating our center's spiritual purpose together. We are an open, welcoming community, celebrating our divinity, loving our humanity, and nurturing our journeys of spiritual discovery. Today, our message that Reverend Cindy is delivering is entitled, "The Future is Now. Welcome Home." Special music will be by our beloved Chamaigne, Sharette. Our prayer practitioner today is Teresa Martin. She's taking over for Jim Ferris, who has a flu. And we are very happy to have Audrey Gum as our prayer practitioner. She's holding high watch for us, and we send a message to her of love. We are grateful that she is here holding our best interests today while we are in service. Other announcements that we have, again, welcoming everyone who's watching online. Definitely we are blessed with this technology to bring that to everyone. From the bottom of our hearts, we welcome you home, and we honor and respect you for your participation and love for this spiritual community. Also, wanted to do a little shout out to Pat Weiniger. She represents the people online by typing in greetings and links and facilitating communication during the Sunday services on Facebook Live. So
Thank you, Pat.
thank you to Pat Weiniger. We are wearing pajamas today to celebrate those who have come to the center in person to be with us. And after the meeting, we are having our annual business meeting for all members, and those who want to become members who are invited to stay after for this important meeting. There will be different things that we cover, and look forward to everyone who has braved the weather to come today. Also next week, join us in our monthly community visioning. It's the first Sunday of every month, right after the service. Bring a brown bag lunch, and sides and drinks will be provided. For latest information of what's happening in our center, double check on www.spirituallyfree.org. We would love to welcome any newcomers today. If this is your first time here, if you feel comfortable, please raise your hand. We'd love to welcome you. Welcome. There is an information packet out in the lobby, and also a Science of Mind magazine for you that you're welcome to get afterwards. And please say hello to anybody and ask any questions. We're happy to have you here. Our center was founded in and grounded in prayer. Prayer helps us to deal with the day-to-day issues and create positive experiences regardless of our circumstances. Our professional prayer practitioners are trained in the art and science of affirmative prayer and are available to pray for and with you. You can submit prayer requests on our website homepage, and our practitioners will pray for you throughout the week. Practitioners can be identified by the purple stoles that they wear on their shoulders. As you can see, Teresa is modeling for us at the moment. Now, I invite you to settle in and allow Teresa's reading and the centering music to take you to that sacred place within. Then she will lead us in prayer.
Today's reading is called The Ever-Present Now, and it's by Helen Van Syke, Religious Science Monthly in January 1928. I'm a child along the highway, and my back is towards the past. I'm alive in the glowing present, and no shadow is o'er me cast. For at high noon there is no shadow, or if one there seems to be, I'm between the shadow. I'm between the sun and the shadow, and the sun sees only me. I'm looking towards the future, for I'm traveling with the sun, and I know what seems tomorrow will be today, and today is done. And I know if a word must be spoken, the idea in mind was born, and that now is the living present, and my lips shall give it form. Substance is ever present. Each day the manna fell. Gold was found in the fish's mouth, and God is, and all is well. The love that would find expression is a magnet in itself, drawing ever the object upon which to lavish love's wealth. And so I live in the present, and the light is on my brow, for I travel always with the sun in the ever-present now.
It's like the sunlight on my face. I feel the love of God surround me, and I am touched by amazing grace. And all I've ever wanted, and all I've ever needed was already here, closer than the sunlight, nearer than the air. And I breathe in, and I am filled with the Spirit. It is health to my body. It is peace to my mind. It is joy. It is joy to my soul. And I breathe out a simple prayer. Thank you. And my breath becomes a song that was singing all along, that was singing everywhere, nearer than the air. It's like the air around me. It's like the sunlight on my face. I feel the love of God surround me, and I am touched by amazing grace. And all I've ever wanted, and all I've ever needed, it was already here, closer than the sunlight, nearer than the air.
Closer than the sunlight and nearer than the air. That is where we are with our spiritual element, with the divine within. So in deep gratitude, I give thanks for being here this day, for surviving the snow and the snowy morning, and for all of you who made it here. There is so much to be here for. There is spirit, there is presence. The divine element is in each and every one of us, closer than the sunlight and nearer than the air. It is within us at all times. It is that which moves the planets in their orbits, which assists the grass to grow. So on this beautiful day, when so much is happening, pajama day, meeting day, lunch day, snowy day, what a life we live. So for all who take part in this wonderful event that we meet, where we meet on Sunday mornings. For each and every aspect, we have teams that come early, teams that do the work in the background, under Reverend Cindy's guidance for everything. And for all of that, I give thanks. For I know that this is a work of love. It is a work of compassion and passion. And for all of that, I give thanks. As together we say, and so it is.
So especially to those new visitors joining us today, welcome again. Our community celebrates this beautiful principle, the collaboration, the synthesis of wisdom from all across the planet and through the ages. And one of our most valuable principles is that God, the divine, is in and through all of life, expressing life. And of course that includes us. The divine is within and works and plays through us, as us. So this next song we invite you to sing, everybody. The principle of Namaste. The God in me sees, knows, recognizes the God in you. Let's sing together.
All
It's my pleasure to introduce our special music today. My beautiful Chamaigne, love of my life. I so appreciate not only her talent, but her spirit, the emotion and, the heart behind things she thinks and says, and especially when she sings. This is a beautiful song, a poem put to music, and it's about home, as you'll see.
At first, I thought it would be a little weird to be a unicorn and sing a very serious song, but actually, this is the kind of song that a unicorn might sing to you. This is a poem by Derek Walcott, and a friend of mine, Daniel Sperry, put it to music. And as always, Rick Sharette came and just made it a little fancier. The time will come when with elation you will greet yourself arriving at your own door, in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, sit here, eat, you will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you ignored for another who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your image from the mirror. Sit, feast on your life.
Beautiful, Chamaigne. Thank you. Are all the musicians still in the room? Because if they're not, go get them. I have something to say to all of you. And good morning, everybody. Good morning, love streamers. Good morning, my fellow pajama wearers. Thank you, thank you. So before I continue on, as Steve said, our band was at the Tabernacle last week. And it was quite exciting to see them on stage. So, oh yes, great, Del, thank you. We have some certificates for everybody in the band, and also, of course, Raj. That was a part of this beautiful, beautiful happening, this interfaith happening. And I just want us to, first of all, give you all a standing ovation. So as I call your name, come forward and get your certificate and your gold star. Mark, thank you for spearheading this beautiful process. So Rory, come on forward. And Drew. All right. Ricardo. All right. Isn't it great that we get to be in our pajamas today for this? Chamaigne. The unicorn. Thank you. Rick. Delanne. Yay. Taking a moment away from the kids, bringing them with her. Thank you. Leslie. She kissed a dog and she liked it. And Raj. And let's thank Raj for taking those beautiful videos that are now on our Facebook and our YouTube. Phenomenal team that we have here in community. All right, so we've been talking about this month coming home, and the intention of the pajama party was to get all of you that are watching from afar, but you don't live that far from here, to come in your pajamas, and then what happens, we're greeted with another spring snowstorm. So if you're at home in your pajamas, welcome. We love being in our pajamas, and if you're not in your pajamas, that's okay too. And today, the future is now. Welcome home. I'm going to get into that in a minute. First, I want to talk about, this is the end of Women's History Month. And my quote today is from Anne Frank. How wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve the world. I'm going to say that one more time. How wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve the world. It's a very important quote because we can improve the world and our world in an instant. We're still in that season of nonviolence as well. We'll have one more week of it. And today's lesson for March 26th is self-sufficiency. People need the dignity of work and the opportunity to provide for themselves. Today, create a job for someone or help someone find employment. So if you're in this room or in this community and you're looking for work, ask each other. If you're someone that owns a company or works for a company that needs employees, tell each other so we can do this together. So, back to the future is now. Welcome home. Here's my thought. Since what we do, how we feel, what we say, and what we believe creates our lives, I have some questions for you. What are you doing now, daily, that's creating your life? How do you feel about yourself, your life, the world, right now? What are you saying to yourself right now? And here's the biggie. What do you believe about yourself and your world right now? So when I woke up this morning, this page called to me, and I want to read a couple paragraphs. It's page 52 from our Science of Mind book. It has been proved that by thinking correctly and by conscious mental use of the law of mind, we can cause it to do definite things for us, through us. By conscious thinking, we give conscious direction to it, and it, consciously or unconsciously, responds to our advance along the line of our consciousness or subjective direction. It goes on saying, it must and will respond to everyone. Because it is law, and law is no respecter of persons. We are surrounded by an intelligent force and substance from which all things come. The ultimate essence in the invisible and subjective world of all visible and objective forms and conditions. It is around us in its original state, ready and willing to take form through the impulse of our creative belief. The law we did not create, the law we cannot change. We can use it. We can use it correctly only as we understand and use it accordingly to nature. Wow. Yeah. So, back to what are we doing, feeling, saying, believing? It says it here, the law always works. So my friends, if you're believing you're always going to be challenged with finances, guess what? You get to be right. People like to be right, right? So today, this day, this moment is the blueprint or map of what we manifest in our life moving forward. I like to think of it this way. It's like we get to create a movie of our life. But here's the fun part. We are the producer. We are the director. We are the actor. We are the projector. And we are the light behind the projector. The truth is, we are the creators of our life. To understand that is to harness this power that Ernest is telling us about. So when I look back on my life, I was looking at some third-party stories, like how am I going to talk about this? I mean, I do know someone that smoked for 30 years and did end up having lung cancer in the future. That's like an obvious kind of choice. I wanted to talk about those things that are kind of that undercurrent that end up creating our lives that we don't always think about. So when I've done my divorce story. Well, I've had other relationships too. So this was in the end of another relationship. I was in a 9-year relationship and we owned a home, and in fact, her mom came to live with us because she was in an accident. So we had the home, we had the dog, we had other housemates that we bought the house with. On the surface, things looked pretty okay until they weren't. So we, after that Northridge earthquake, if you all remember, that was a pretty big one. And I lived in Chatsworth, which is right next door to Northridge. So, there was parts of the house that crumbled, along with parts of our relationship that were crumbling. When that relationship came to an end, I realized and I recognized that there were things that I was doing, feeling, saying, and believing years prior that created exactly what was going on in my life then. I want to be careful here, you guys. I don't want you to use this, which new metaphysicians have a tendency to do, to beat themselves up. Right? That's not what this is about. This is about choosing a journey of awareness. So I can look back without beating myself up, knowing that I was doing the best that I could for what I knew in the moment. So, I would say during that time I was experiencing lack because all of a sudden I'm the only one in this house that wanted to stay in this house with a big giant mortgage. Everybody left. I was frustrated. I was feeling like I wasn't loved because of the breakup. There was drama. And I was feeling pretty darn hopeless. So, what was I doing or not doing the years prior? That's the question. You've heard me say that I bumped into my spiritual journey very young, 17 years old, and I knew things like meditation and the teachers that I had. I knew the tools, and yet there was this time period in my, let's say, 20s that I was more interested in having fun, partying, hanging out with my friends, rather than doing my spiritual studies. So the time before this, what I was not doing was my spiritual practices. I wasn't meditating. I wasn't treating my body temple well. I was spending lots of energy distracting myself from my feelings with all these substances. So I wasn't feeling. I was hanging out with people that weren't necessarily interested in being positive, appreciative, grateful. They were busy moaning and groaning about the world. And I got caught in that loop as well. So my self-talk wasn't very positive either. I didn't believe in myself because the relationship had broken up, and I really put everything into it, including having my mother-in-law live with us and buying the house. Every cent that I had went into the down payment. I did everything. I put in my time, my treasures, my loyalty, and yet it fell apart. So not pretty, right? Based on those things, the outpicturing was the dissolving of what I had. When I look back on it, I'm so grateful. When I was in the middle of it, I didn't feel grateful. I was just not happy. So fast forward. After that time, I bumped into Science of Mind. After that time, I started to study. First of all, let me go back to the doing. After that time, I started on a daily basis meditating. I started studying. I really recognized that I wanted to do my life from a place that was conscientious, giving, kind. I started feeling, because I was doing those things, I started to feel the feelings. In other words, I allowed myself to feel the grief of that relationship breaking up. I started to feel the grief of the house that we bought together, that all of that not working out. I started to let myself feel. In other words, I didn't cry for 2 months. No, I just allowed myself to sit in those places and spaces where my breath was taken away. And because I allowed myself to do that, I didn't have to cry for 2 months. I just allowed myself to be in that moment. I started gratitude and being around other people like you, other people that were optimistic and that loved the conversation of science of mind, that loved to talk about taking responsibility as the creator of our life. So what I was saying was worlds apart from what I was saying before with my friends that were too busy moaning and groaning about the world. And finally, I started believing I deserve love. I am love. I deserve abundance. I deserve not to come from lack and worry about how the rent or the car note's going to be paid. I want to put a little pinpoint here. Believing is something that you get to be grounded in, that you have to embody. In other words, believing isn't just from the shoulders up, intellectualizing what Ernest has said here. Believing is having those experiences in your life that prove it scientifically, science of mind, scientifically, that it's true, that it works, that the law is the law, and that it always works. I say this in my prayer sometimes. It works 100% of the time. 100% of the time. You get to choose. Do you want to choose from that place of believing in a world that works for everyone, that everyone has exactly what they need and what they want, that is fulfilled? Or do you want to come from that other place where you tune into the news and you see, oh, more gunfire, more war, more strife, more less than? We are powerful creators. And if we can do it in our lives first, we get to affect the rest of this planet, everybody on it. So this is what we're here to do today. So back to that movie set. What's your movie look like? That will really show you where you have been doing what you've been saying, what you've been believing. Right. And again, not to beat yourself up. You can kind of look at it from outside of yourself and say, oh, geez, I don't like that movie. It's time to fire the producer and director and get a new one, right? Now that's the cool part, you guys. Right now, this day, start a new movie. So what are you going to do daily, now, that creates your next amazing movie? I want you to think about that now. And how do you feel about yourself, your life, and the world in your new movie, in the new script, with the new director, producer? Maybe your actor now looks like Brad Pitt. I don't know. Or Angelina. In your new movie, what are you saying about yourself? What are you saying to others? Are you bringing them up? Are you buoying them up about the amazing beauty and magnificence of this world? Yes, it's snowing, and it's gorgeous. And the big one, what do you believe about yourself in this new movie? Do you believe you're powerful? You're conscious and aware and you make a difference on this planet? Do you believe you are love? And that you love everybody unconditionally? Do you believe they love you? So the answers to those questions, your new movie creates what's coming next. And I'm excited about that. So my movie has definitely improved. I've had better directors and producers in my life as I've matured. And you don't have to wait to mature, folks. That's what's exciting for those of you that are younger in this room. Do it now. Don't wait until you're 50, 60, 70, 80, which is fine. That's okay. Whenever you get there, you get there. But how exciting to do it now. How exciting is that? Yeah, right now you might be going through a god-awful time. I get it. But right now is the time to make these changes so that 5 years from now you look back and say, wow, look at where I am at. So one last thing, because I want to read that poem again that Teresa did so beautifully for us starting the service, is that I don't want anyone in this room to think less of themselves because they're going through a hard time. Because that's what metaphysicians do sometimes. We do it just because we know about the law. We know these spiritual principles. And yet, the outpicturing isn't always what we want. But this is what I can tell you. The outpicturing that's happening in our lives now is our blessing. It's our opportunity to know ourselves completely and wholly as the expanded light beings that we are. So, I'm just saying, Be gentle and loving with yourself, like you would with your best friend. Be gentle and loving with yourself, even if you're late on the rent. Even if you're having a cold or a flu. Even if things are going a little sideways. So I invite you to just close your eyes as I read this poem once again and just really take it in. Because your future is now. Welcome home. The ever-present now. I'm a child along the highway, and my back is toward the past. I'm alive in the glowing present, and no shadow is o'er me cast. For a high noon there is no shadow, or if one there seems to be, I'm between the sun and the shadow, and the sun only sees me. I'm not looking toward the future, for I'm traveling with the sun, and I know what seems tomorrow will be today when today is done. And I know if a word must be spoken, the idea in mind was born, and that now is the living present. My lips shall give it form. Substance is ever present. Each day the manna fell. Gold was in the fish's mouth. God is. All is well. The love that would find expression is a magnet in itself, drawing ever the object upon which to lavish love's wealth. And so I live in the present, and the light is on my brow, for I travel always with the sun in the ever-present now. Please join me in prayer. Just keeping those eyes softly closed, if that's comfortable for you, and taking in a deep breath of this moment, of this Sunday. Wherever you sit, whether you're at home, in bed, on the couch, at the kitchen table, or you sit in the sanctuary, allowing the warmth, the safety, the security of this now moment to be grateful for. Grateful for this moment, this time, this place that we call Salt Lake Center for Spiritual Living, that so hugs us with love when we walk in. How grateful I am for Ernest Holmes and his teachings and all of his inspiration, his teachers, the ancestors, everybody that has been so wise and yet willing to share this teaching. And how grateful I am to know that there is only one power, one presence, one love. Whether you call it God, Buddha, Allah, Jehovah, Hashem, the way, universe, divine intelligence, this oneness that is in every snowflake falling. this oneness that is in everything that we can hear, those musical notes and the silence in between. That oneness that is in everything that we see, every color of the rainbow, and also the darkness, the sunlight. It's everywhere, all the time, ever present, always connected. So knowing that is the truth with that capital T of who and what we are, I know that this presence is speaking through me, as me, at this moment and every moment of my life, guiding me, downloading the vision. And I know the same truth for everyone within earshot of this prayer. Whether it's in this room or at home or listening to it later, it's profoundly, profoundly powerful because we sit in this prayer vortex together. So knowing that we are one with the one, we are the I am that I am. I claim and know for every individual, every sentient being, every animal, that love has our back. That love is the way. It's that beautiful salve that heals all challenges. Whether it's picking the wrong director and producer for our movies, whether it's seeing that the movie that we have created isn't quite the way we want it, but now we know. So for those of you in the room that are feeling less than 100% in our body temples, I claim and know that no healing needed because you are fully, fully, fully orbed as a being that is never broken. Complete and whole in every single way there is. And in this moment, in this very now moment, in this moment now, we know it and we feel it. And for every beautiful being in this room that is looking for that right place to call home. Home is where your heart is, and home is looking for you as well as you are looking for it. And the same goes for that beautiful, passion-filled heart, that way of making a living, that it is there already within you. It's been calling to you and you say yes. And because of your yes, you get to do what you love and love what you do and get paid beautifully for it so that all needs are met and then some. And for anyone in this room that is fighting the fight of addiction, I claim and know that because you know who you are, that addiction lets go of you. There's nothing that you need to be that's different than who you are here to be. And I claim and know for those beautiful beings in Mississippi that had the town just tornadoed away in an instant. We hold those beloveds in our heart for people that have lost their loved ones, their homes, their sanctuaries. We know something will be provided in a way that is so much more than they could even imagine. And for this moment, I ask that you say your name out loud and include any names of anyone in your life that is in need of a prayer today. Cindy, Madeline, Sandy, Brad, Joy, Kent, Marilyn, Kimberly. All my beloved, and as we continue on with those names, how thankful I am. Thankful for this technology called affirmative prayer that has been proven over and over and over that it works. I'm grateful for answered prayer. I'm grateful for exactly the way it outpictures in our life. I'm grateful for the option to choose prayer as a practice that guides this community, my life, and all my beloved's life. So with that thankful heart, I just let it go into the law that, like I said, only works 100% of the time. It's proven over and over again that we as humans can just release it because it is done. It is all God. It is all good. And say with me, and so it is. Amen.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I give. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you, our beautiful band. And our ushers are getting ready at the back of the room to pass the basket. And the first thing I want to say is thank you. Thank you for giving. Thank you for coming back. Thank you, my goodness, for being here on this snowy day. I know some of you came from afar to be here. I barely had to go a mile and I was white knuckling it. So I appreciate that. Thank you. We're going to pass the basket now. And I also just want to say that when I give, it allows me to get. It's so wonderful to let my love go, my gifts, my talents, my treasures, because I know they're going to come back to me tenfold. So when we do this, I don't want you to think of it, oh no, here we go again. No, this is an opportunity, right? It's an opportunity so that you can practice your practice, because that's what I believe in. And I do want to say that we'll be doing business later, but when I came here to this center, our center wasn't giving a full 10% yet. And one of the first board meetings I said, okay, we have to up our game here. So we really are doing 10% now, because that's what I promised from myself. I'm not saying that everybody has to do 10% here. I know that there's other places that call you and want your funds and your gifts. I get that. But if I'm going to tell you that I'm doing it, I know that our center is doing it as well. So thank you. So yes, ushers, please come forward. And I like to say we're going to outstretch our hearts through our hands to bless these promissory notes. And just repeat after me. I am so blessed.
I am so blessed.
I am so grateful
I am so grateful
that I can give from the overflow.
that I can give from the overflow.
And these promissory notes,
And these promissory notes,
they come back to me
they come back to me
multiplied abundantly.
multiplied abundantly.
And so it is.
And so it is.
So we're going to hear another song from Chamaigne. It's a beautiful song that really puts an exclamation point on what Reverend Cindy shared with us today. It's called Pass the Wishing.
It's by my favorite songwriter, Sarah Groves. And as I often do, I changed a couple of lyrics. And I was thinking as we were practicing this morning, oh, she might see me on YouTube. What will she think of my lyrics? And then what will she think about a unicorn singing her song and changing her lyrics? Hopefully she loves it.
I'm standing at the foot of this mountain, wishing so bad that I could reach the sky. And in the time it takes to make my wish, I never take a step and I never try. And I wish that I were more aware of spirit, but not enough to get me out of bed. For an early morning prayer before the rushes of my life take me instead. When I'm past the wishing, I'm past the wishing, I'm past the wishing. Whoa, whoa. And I'm gazing in these deep well waters where the pennies of my life have all been cast. But I've decided I am going to save my money to do something that lasts. And in my dreams I'm one with all the universe. The music in my heart is being sung. And I'm tired of saying
Chamaigne. What a wonderful message, Cindy. Thank you. Reverend Cindy, awesome. Thank you. I love the rom-com that is my movie, and I'm so grateful that all of you are in it. It's such a beautiful thing. So don't forget our business meeting coming up after service today. If you're a member, please stay. If you'd like to be a member, or if you're just curious about what are they doing here, then you're welcome, of course. Welcome. Plus lunch. Cool.
Food.
I'm so glad I didn't have breakfast. That's great. All right, I invite you to stand, and we're going to sing our closing song.